Technology-facilitated sexual violence, or TFSV, is an increasingly prevalent issue that has expanded with the rising popularity of social networking sites. TFSV is defined as a range of criminal, civil, or otherwise harmful, sexually aggressive, and harassing behaviors that are perpetuated with the aid or use of communication technologies. Because younger generations consume more forms of media, college students are especially prone to TFSV exposure. The prevalence of this exposure, the scope and severity of problematic content, and the ways in which people respond to TFSV remain unknown. Previous research has primarily focused on victims and perpetrators, but little attention has been paid to bystander intervention. Further research is needed to examine college students' attitudes regarding TFSV, which will determine whether there is a greater need for sexual violence-based education on campuses. This study subsequently aimed to address the gaps in the literature by analyzing the actions of college students against TFSV they have witnessed in the past. The analyses included the types of posts they have been exposed to, propensity for inaction or action against TFSV, and how the perpetrator reacted to the participants' intervention. 271 participants were qualitatively coded for this study. They were exposed to 4 vignettes depicting problematic posts related to sexual violence, and then they were asked to describe the most recent similar situation they've witnessed, why they chose not to do anything, what action they took against the TFSV, if any, and how the person who made the post reacted to this action. 42% of the responses were double-coded, and there was an inter-rater reliability of 90.4%. One of the most common qualitative themes that appeared was victim blaming, followed by degrading women, political conflict, posts about partying. Participants have not witnessed anything similar, vague encounters of sexual violence, drinking, smoking, or drug use, and sexual violence jokes. The most common reason a participant chose not to act was that they didn't want to be involved or didn't feel like it was their place. Preliminary analyses of the data revealed that 80% of the participants who witnessed TFSV did not comment or take any other action. This lack of intervention could be explained by the idea that college students are less likely to intervene in sexual violence situations when they perceive them to be lower risk. So 9% of the participants who did not take action established that they did not perceive the situation to be dangerous. It was also determined that the perpetrator's most common response to the participants' action was to ignore them. And this could be partly due to the finding that participants' most common action was to report the post, and therefore the perpetrator may not have known that they took this action. As expected, 24% of participants made reference to victim blaming for the first question, but more surprisingly, 10% referenced witnessing political conflict on social media, and this suggests that at least 10% of the participants framed sexual assault to be a political issue. The lack of action in the study demonstrates a need for further research into the topic. As college students demonstrate a lack of willingness to intervene in TFSV, sexual assault prevention programs on college campuses should be evaluated to determine their effectiveness in preventing TFSV.